What's up, guys? Chef Emmett here. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Flavor family. I hope you liked the video. If you do, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out and it's totally free. To my family that's returning, welcome back. I missed y'all. We're talking pumpkin pie French toast today. I'm super excited. Let's go. All right, guys, before we get started, let's go over all of our ingredients. First, let me apologize for my hair. I got it up in a pineapple. It's the weekend, so don't come for me. All right, we're going to use Hawaiian rolls. It's going to be a lot sweeter, and I feel like it's just going to be better, right, than using a French loaf. The only other option I would accept is challah bread. That's the perfect bread for French toast. It's ridiculous. I will even use brioche as well, believe it or not. So you can have these out the night before just to get stale a little bit. I'm going to put them in a 200-degree oven just for a couple of minutes to dry out. That can be another shortcut for you as well. We're going to need a cup of milk. I got dairy-free. I haven't drunk cow milk in I don't know how many years now. This is some almond milk. I got some vanilla bean paste. Vanilla extract can work as well. This is going to be the supernova here. This is our homemade pumpkin spice. If you guys haven't checked that video out, trust me, you're never going to buy it again. I'll put it up and I'll put the link in the description box below. This is going to be our supernova. Our other supernova, our robin, is going to be our homemade puree pumpkin. Again, I will put the video in the description box for you guys because you shouldn't be buying the canned stuff. Finally, we got our eggs. If it ain't brown, don't bring it around. All right, guys. Let's start with toasting our bread. Now, I bought the party pack for full disclosure. I was going to do a full recipe, but all the recipes I looked up showed you the 16 by 9. Nothing showed you how to make a smaller portion, so that's my goal for today. If you don't got a family, if you're not feeding friends and family, if you just need a good portion that'll last the weekend, you know, this will do it. So we're gonna do half of this, and I'm gonna rip this up. I'm not gonna cube it. I want this to be rustic. So I'm just gonna fill our little 8 by 8 here. Now that we got our bread, I'm just gonna get these on a sheet pan. Like I said, I got my oven at 200 degrees right now. It's a nice little shortcut if you didn't get a chance to have your bread out overnight to get stale. And I did spray my wire rack because I don't want this to stick. And I got trust issues. I'm gonna spray it regardless. Right? All right. Let's get this into the oven. This isn't gonna take long, but you're gonna keep an eye on it and we'll clean up and get everything else going. Let's go. All right, so let's work on our multitasking. While our bread is toasting, get nice and crusty for us, let's go ahead and get started on our batter here. Let's go in with 3 eggs. Remember, if it ain't brown, don't bring it around. No worries. If you get a shell, use a shell. That's a tip for this Saturday. All right, 3 eggs in. Down here. All right, then we're gonna go in with a teaspoon, I'm sorry, of our homemade pumpkin spice. Guys, you have to make this, or at least try it. You will never buy the store-bought again, I promise. All right. Then I'm gonna also go in with a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. You can also use, it's the same amount of vanilla extract if you have that. I just prefer the paste. That's just me, but as long as you got vanilla in there, you're rocking. All right, let's get this whipped up first. Get us a head start. That's looking good. Can that stay? Perfect. And now we're gonna go in with our pureed pumpkin. We're gonna get a 1/4 cup of this. This is ours, so let's do a heat 1/4 cup. How about that? If you're using a can, just use a 1/4 cup. Sorry. All right. But you shouldn't be using a can, especially if you watch my video on how easy it is. And you get free seeds out of buying your own pumpkin. Like, come on. All right. Let's get our pumpkin whisk in there. All right. Now let's go on with our milk. And this is the perfect size for maybe 4, you know, if you got a family of 4, or if you're just you by yourself, you got 4 servings, right? It's the weekend, so definitely a cheat day. Oh man, you guys can smell this. Go ahead and clean the rest of this up, wait on our bread, and we'll put it all together. Our bread out of the oven, it took about 15 minutes, and you want to get it nice and dry it out. Just like that, right? I did toss it halfway through, but that's why we use a rack to get full circulation so we don't have to toss it as much, right? So now Before I forget, after you take the bread out, blast your oven up to 350 degrees. That's the temperature we're gonna bake at. But now, all that's left to do is get our bread in our pan and get our custard on it. And remember, we're using Hawaiian rolls, so we don't need as much sugar. I know you usually will see, brown sugar or a lot more sugar put into the custard, but the Hawaiian roll is sweet already. And because of that, no flavor left behind. I need all this. We need it all. No waste. Crumbs and everything. I'm just going to evenly distribute that as best as possible. Perfect. All right. Let's get this out of the way. All right. Let's get our custard poured. And you're just going to try to keep this as even as possible. And you guys already know me by now. Rubber spatula for the win. No flavor left behind. If you're leaving flavor in the bowl, we can't be friends. I'm sorry. All right. Perfect. Let's get that out of the way. And what we're going to do, we're going to give this a slight press. Make sure all our bread is soaked up. Let me wash up and I'll show you a surprise we're going to put on the top. Hands all clean. We're going to make a little topping for our French toast here. I'm going to get about a good heaping tablespoon of brown sugar. And I'm going to get a little bit more of our pumpkin spice because it's homemade, so why not? All right. Give that a little mix. And then we're going to grab. Now, this is optional to add some nuts on top of it. I'm using walnuts just because that's what I have. I would love to have pecans or pecans, whatever works for you. But this is what I have, and you use what you have. That's called adjusting on the fly, otherwise known as cooking, right? So I'm just going to get a couple out here. Knife. We're just going to give these a rough chop. I don't want these too large, but I don't want it as a powder either. So give it a nice rough chop. Let's get our nuts on first. And again, try to be as even as possible. Use that knife. Nothing left behind, guys. All right. I'm just going to use my hands here. This is the best tools in the kitchen. And this right here, guys, this is going to be the difference maker. This is what's going to make you yell flavor at the end. You know what I mean? The sugar on top is going to caramelize. We're going to have the nuts get toasted. It's going to give us some crunch on top. And we got that nice custard underneath. This is going to be amazing. Turn that up. All right, guys, that's ready to go. This is going to go in a 350-degree oven. I'm going to put it on the sheet pan, a smaller one, just so I can easily remove it. This is going to go in for about 35-40 minutes. You're going to test the inside with a toothpick to make sure it comes out clean. All right, guys, it was in the oven for about 35 minutes. Now, if you're like me and forgot to spray your tin, just going to take a paring knife while it's still hot and just go around the edge because I forgot to spray it. It happens to the best of us. All right. The house smells amazing. As soon as you pop the oven open, it's just fall fills the air, right? We got our pumpkin spice in there, our fresh roasted pumpkin in there. I can't wait to dig in, but it's piping hot. We're going to let this cool down a little bit, and then we'll cut a slice and plate up. All right, guys, we gave this about 5 good minutes to cool down. I'm just going to slice into this with my serrated knife here. I'm going to go as 4 Big Daddy portions. Let's do it like that. After all, it is the weekend, right? All right. Now I got my fish spatula here. Try to get underneath this. Try not to mess up the slice too bad. Oh, man. Look at that. Put that on a plate. Now we're going to finish this off the right way. A little dusting of powdered sugar. And some real maple syrup. No pancake syrup. I just got in a squeeze bottle just to make it a little easier. Go across. And look at that. All right, guys, all done. This smells absolutely amazing. Can't wait to dig into this. So we got the pumpkin, our homemade pumpkin spice in here. We used the Hawaiian sweet rolls, topped it with some powdered sugar, and we topped it with that walnut, with that brown sugar and pumpkin spice mix. Oh man, let's get into it. Oh, it's so moist, it's ridiculous. Wow. You get the pumpkin right away. Right away. It's not overly sweet, which is nice. Oh my God, I gotta go in again. I'm sorry. Some of that syrup down there. Mm. Mm. The biggest difference is caramelizing that layer of sugar on top with the walnuts. It provides a very nice crunch. And I'm not too sure that I missed the pecans. I'm not too sure. I kind of like it with the walnuts. This, 10 out of 10, hands down. This is definitely a must try if you got some pumpkin laying around. Oh my God. For the weekend, this is amazing. And this is a pretty big portion. You can cut this up even more, you know. But man, this won't disappoint. What's for breakfast? Flavor! If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and hit that subscribe button. It's totally free. It really helps me out. And join the Flavor family, all right?